I'm in a couple of paid communities, professional communities. One is focused on speakers, the other is focused on founders because I am a speaker and I work with speakers. And I'm a founder and I work with founders. So it's kind of ideal to be in spaces like that. And I also, I typically have a one-on-one mentor and I toggle between having more business strategy mentorship and more holistic personal development mentorship. And sometimes there is a gray area, but it's very rare that I work.
Welcome to Career Coaching Secrets, the podcast where we talk with successful career coaches on how they built their success and the hard lessons they learned along the way. My name is Davis Nguyen, and I'm the founder of Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to $100,000 years, $100,000 months, and even $100,000 weeks. Before Purple Circle, I've grown several 7- and 8-figure career coaching businesses myself, and have been a consultant at 2 career coaching businesses that are doing over $100 million each. Whether you're an established coach or building your practice for the first time, you'll discover the secrets to elevating your coaching business.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Career Coaching Secrets. My name is Sia and today I am joined by Stephanie Thoma. And Stephanie is a public speaking coach who's helped thousands of founders, creatives and leaders share their message with clarity and confidence. Stephanie has spoken in Harvard, General Assembly and global leadership events, and her work has been featured in Forbes, Business Insider, Entrepreneur, and even Good Morning Washington. She also has the best-selling book, Confident Introvert, and runs Connect with Confidence, where she helps thousands of professionals step into leadership and make their message unforgettable. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you, Sia. Good to be here.
Great. So I just want us to start about tell me a little bit more about how you got into this whole career coaching thing. What made you start your own business in this field specifically?
Coaching was not something that I sought to become. It was more of a calling. So people talk about this all the time, but in my case, I tried on a variety of different roles in corporate. So I was in business development, some time in market research, sales, marketing, events, field marketing, almost every sort of vertical except for the tech verticals. And from there, I remember at one point, someone that I was dating was like, wait, are you trying to be CEO? You've had so many roles. Like, you're pretty well-rounded. Like, you could probably own a business. And I was like, never thought of that. But anyway, it started pretty organically where people were asking me for help with their resume. And career coaching, I think it starts out with, okay, cover letter, resume. People were asking me for advice because, this is before AI. This is back when you had to know the skill of formatting and understanding how to position yourself and how to talk about your accomplishments, where you're not writing a laundry list of like, I did this to standard. It's like, no, I exceeded this expectation by this percentage point. And, really being able to talk yourself up in a way that's true, but showcases your best sides. So I have a knack for seeing the best in people. So, through that lens, I was able to help people with resumes. And then I had people asking me about helping them with cover letters and interview preparation. And then from there, I gave my first signature talk, Networking for Introverts. And people were asking me to coach them on networking skills. And now I coach people on public speaking. So it's really been a progression guided by me being forthcoming about what my strengths are and sort of leading by example, and then people seeing that in some capacity and then asking, wait, can you help me? So I've been in the coaching space for almost a decade.
Decade now.
Almost.
Wow. And yeah, sure. And looking back now, like what are the most rewarding parts of your journey that you look at and you're like, wow, I love what I did there?
One of the most rewarding aspects of getting to be in the position of a coach is being able to transmute your lessons and your pain and your hardships into knowledge that can help other people avoid similar issues, where they can reach their goals faster not only because of your past experiences, but because you're able to really see people for who they are. And maybe you see strengths that they're not quite aware of. So for example, if I was aware that I could have been a coach or that I was well suited for it earlier, I probably could have been doing this for an even longer amount of time, but it was something that revealed itself over time. And I didn't even get my own coach until about 5 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. And when you say these people, like specifically, who are you targeting when it comes to like coaching? Who is your ideal client or who are you helping exactly?
I love working with founders. So people who have decided to either transition out of a 9 to 5 or maybe they're already there. So I have some clients that know that they want to build up their personal brand because the job market is really uncertain. In recent years, anyone that's been in a job has probably witnessed their colleagues being laid off and let go. And it's just so common these days that investing in yourself and your skills that can, sure, help you at your job, but also you can take them with you wherever you go. So that's one of the great things about investing in a coach. And when it comes to public speaking skills, being able to articulate yourself well and feel confident in a public setting. So that could be on a stage, that could actually be in a meeting also, or at a networking event, just being out in public and talking and feeling like you're not going to be a deer in headlights, forgetting everything that you wanted to say, and that you're also not going to trip over your words because you only have one time to make a first impression.
Mm-hmm.
The key transformation when it comes to the type of work that I do is from the inside out. So I'm thinking of one of my clients right now, for example. She's actually a really great public speaker. No one would ever know that she feels such anxiety and dread when both before she public speaks and when she's up there because she's so gregarious and cracks jokes with the audience. But she has a bigger vision for herself and her speaking that also includes her feeling good being up there. So it's not always about, oh, so other people can perceive you in a certain way and trying to control for that. It's like, can you have it all? Can you go up there and make a great impression, but also feel really at ease and even have fun in the process?
Yeah, totally. I like that. When you say have fun in the process, like if somebody's an introvert, how can they have fun in the process? Like what is the best advice you can give them on that one? Yeah.
So let's first define terms. So an introvert is simply someone that gets their energy from solitude, and an extrovert is someone who tends to get their energy from other people. So that's not to say that an introvert can't public speak and enjoy it. It just means that their energy reserves may be a little more finite. So there becomes an opportunity to be more discerning with your energy, particularly if you're going to a networking event or if you're doing public speaking. What I like to encourage is a concept from Confident Introvert, the book. It's called a solitude sandwich, where you take dedicated time on either end of an activity to be in your own energy. And maybe you're meditating, you could be reading, you could be going on a walk, not talking to anyone. And that, especially having that right before and right after something that could be draining, can actually help you be really present and really engaging with other people. And a lot of really great public speakers are actually introverts because there can be this potentially a greater sensitivity to others. There can be greater observation skills that are tapped into. So, a few introverts that are amazing public speakers, we could say Brene Brown, Barack Obama, and who else is an introvert? The entertainer Beyonce. So Sasha Fierce is actually an alter ego that she sort of puts on, and everyone has the ability to create an alter ego. That's kind of almost in alignment with fake it till you make it, when really I think we are multifaceted, and it's not about like, oh, this alter ego that's so great and so confident. It's like, no, that's actually a part of you that you get to cherry pick when you show up as that version of yourself.
Wow, I love that. That's really interesting. I'm learning a lot myself here.
Oh, I'm glad.
Now, yeah, totally. Now I want us to go back to the business side of things. When it comes to marketing, how do you position yourself? Where do you go? How do you market yourself in this coaching business, since it's very competitive as well?
Right. So I'm not focused on the competition. I'm not looking at leaderboards. Okay, I'll start with what I'm not doing. So I'm not like, oh, look, this person in my space, oh my gosh, they sold more books or they did this. It's like, I feel like when you're on your path and you're focused on, okay, I'm going to take the next aligned step and I'm going to be visible, not for the sake of being visible and like, oh, look, here's a gold star because you were visible today. It's like, no, actually do it for a greater purpose. There's someone out there that really needs your help. So, I walk the talk, so to speak. I have a community on LinkedIn called Unmute Yourself, speaker community. And there are a variety of different visibility sprints where I have a series of questions and I lead by example. I say, okay, here's how I would answer it. It's like, tell me about a time when you overcame an obstacle. It's like, it's nice and broad where people typically have stories in their minds. Or if not, this is something that I help people with, come up with a story bank so that on the drop of the hat, you can tell a compelling story that helps people connect with what you're doing. And I go through these prompts and I share a quick 2-minute story. And I don't model perfection. I'm modeling, hey, this is me getting out there and giving, sometimes it falls flat. Other times people are like, in the DMs, oh my gosh, I resonated with that on such a deep level. Thank you for posting that. Someone that I don't even know. So it's really deciding to try new things and experiment. Many entrepreneurs that I know, they're not doing things the way they've always been done. They're like, well, wait, it's not about reinventing the wheel, but it's like there isn't even a wheel, so to speak. It's time to try different things and see what sticks.
Yeah, right. I like that. And now, would you say you're only using LinkedIn, or there's any?
Okay, earlier in my coaching career, I was everywhere. I was focused on Instagram for a while, but then also repurposing content on Facebook and even Twitter sometimes. I mean, now I'm like, I don't even touch Twitter. I'm like, there's so much there. But now I still post. I've posted a weekly YouTube video for the past 4.5 years. And,
Wow.
I'm always learning. There's definitely more
Yeah.
for me to learn on that platform. But hey, I'm consistent. And if, it's not always about like, oh, and I have 500,000 subscribers. Sometimes it's like, oh, there's someone from my email newsletter that sees one of my YouTube videos, and maybe it has like 100 views, but if the right person sees it, it strikes a chord, and then there's a conversation that can come from that. So right now, my focus is on LinkedIn, and I also I've been creating YouTubes for so long, I'm continuing that.
Like that. Totally like that. And like, is there any goals that you have in maybe, maybe say 1 year to 3 years from now? Is there anything that you're looking forward to reach in your coaching business?
Certainly, yeah. So I have my benchmarks in terms of clients served, and then typically with my clients, I have both stretch goals and realistic goals. And sometimes, my clients will come to me and they'll typically start out with, either one of the two, right? Goals that I deem as realistic or stretch. And then it's time to be like, okay, instead of being like, this is the only benchmark, this or nothing, it's important to be able to celebrate milestones along the way. And how that can be achieved is by having one primary mission and then a variety of markers of success that give you a range. Because, yeah, we can't always control who says yes to us or what opportunities are attained. But it's like, okay, maybe instead of speaking at a new college every single week, maybe you're like, I'm going to send out 100 proposals every week. And then if you're not getting that one a week, that's a 1% conversion. You have to start tweaking and doing something different. So yeah, we learn by doing, but also because I've been in this speaker world for over 8 years now, I'm able to either sometimes open doors with the connections that I have or give frameworks that my clients can utilize to open their own doors.
I like that. And now, like when it comes to investing, is there any investments that you're doing to get to those goals, like of helping clients, get to their goals?
Yeah. So I'm in a couple of paid communities, professional communities. One is focused on speakers. The other is focused on founders, because I am a speaker and I work with speakers. And I'm a founder and I work with founders. So it's kind of ideal to be in spaces like that. And I also, I typically have a one-on-one mentor, and I toggle between having more business strategy mentorship and more holistic personal development mentorship. And sometimes there is a gray area, but it's very rare that I work with someone and they are 100% all about the numbers and the business. I do think that we are holistic, and that's how I work with clients as well. I am very numerically driven, and it's pretty intuitive to me to be able to create a plan that's very actionable and measurable. There's the human piece of intuition and being able to determine like, wait, okay, I don't have a logical reason for this, but hey, how about you try that and then see how that goes? And, I'll even give a short example of a time when I was in a founder community, and someone that I had never met ended up in my Facebook DMs, and I recognized her name from the community. And she said, hey, I think you should join this 5-day challenge. And it was so random. And actually, it was about being visible online. And this was about 5 years ago now, I would say. And it's weird. I looked at it and I was like, oh, interesting. She thinks I should join this and she doesn't know why. But then I just joined it. I think it was about $50 to do this 5-day challenge. And wouldn't you know, I win the challenge, the grand prize worth $15,000.
Wow.
So
Wow.
there's something to be said for intuition. And if you are not attuned to your own yet, or you're still growing in your attunement, maybe consider listening to others' intuitions. And I could have talked myself out of that. Okay, wait, who is this person in my DMs? Like, who is she? And like, okay, cool. She wants me to spend $50 on this program. Is she an affiliate? Like, why? And
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not really excited by it. Not a good time later. And then guess what? I would have missed out on this $15,000 prize, which included entry to this upscale event in New York City and access to a mastermind that other people were paying far more than $50 to be a part of. Yeah, so I'm going to speak to the speakers or the aspiring speakers right now. And you can learn by doing. However, you don't have another chance to make a first impression. The best thing that you can do is get practice speaking in low stakes situations. Now is not necessarily the time to apply for the TEDx talk or to apply for the Ivy League college but here's the thing. If those opportunities come to you quickly, then say yes and prepare. However, it's important to, I'm thinking about all the times that I public spoke less formally. So I've been an MC and curating and leading panels, discussions. And, that I did that for actually at least a couple of years before moving on to my own keynote. And not to say you need to do that, but I got a sense of comfortability in public speaking and also a comfortability in being off the cuff and in being able to have seamless transitions and to really guide other people in their storytelling. And then I was able to flip that and actually do that for myself. So it's one of those situations where I actually have not had a dedicated speaker coach myself, but I have had business coaches that have helped me with the business side. So when I work with speakers, let's say that they're a great speaker, I can also help them with the business side of things because to have something be a business, like, anyone can kind of go out and speak for free and then maybe have it not translate into clients. Then it's like, okay, is that a business or a hobby? And if you want it to be a hobby, that's fine. But if you would like it to be an income stream, then typically there are best practices, and one of those being just discerning when to speak for free versus when to charge. And even things, I'll put a couple nuggets out there for those who are listening. As a speaker, you want to be able to, if there is a pro bono speaking gig that you're doing, you want to look out for, okay, so I'm doing this pro bono this time. You're not promising that every year you're just going to be their free speaker or whatever it is. But okay, can you refer me to someone who may potentially be a paying client of mine on the speaking circuit? And also, can you write me a testimonial? And also, can I pitch? Can I talk about my services? And because if you can gain clients on the back end of a talk, then that could even be more than what you would have gotten as a speaker fee. So there are so many ways to work it, so many foundational things that working with someone that you resonate with. Like, I want to talk about this for a moment, if you don't mind, that some people hire a coach because they think this coach has gotten people results, even though they don't feel a connection to the coach. And they're just like, oh, I think this person, okay, I think that they have the information. Or everyone raves about this person. But having a coach one-on-one in particular is such a personal relationship and such a personal decision that even this is not where you want to shop around and get the lowest price ever. Like, it comes down to who you resonate with and if they embody qualities and if they've accomplished things that you want to accomplish and you just like how they show up. And you're like, oh, what a privilege. How cool would that be to actually interface with this person regularly? Because your mentors certainly rub off on you. Yeah. Well, yeah. So what we were just discussing, I kind of flipped it, but it's like, okay, what you don't want to do is buy because everyone is saying, oh my gosh, you have to work with so and so. And then you even look at videos of them online and it falls flat for you. You're like, oh, I don't see their magic, but like, okay, I'll throw money at it. And then guess what? You don't get results from it. and then, or another one where you're thinking, where it's just purely in your mind. I'm speaking right now to the people who have ever felt like they're just trying to crunch numbers and, make it logically make sense. A lot of success is not going to make a lot of sense. So I'll give an example of a time when I took a chance that didn't make any sense, but it was a great thing that I think I did for my career, where I gave my networking workshop in January. And then at that point in time, I didn't have a coaching offer specific to that, but I had multiple people asking me for one-on-one coaching after that. So I'm like, ooh, let me go create that. And then I was also invited to give a talk in Tokyo, like out of the country. I'd never given, so I was in California at this time, and literally, what was it? 5 weeks. 5 weeks difference. And I said yes, even though I'd only given the talk one time. So then I gave it to an international business audience, and I was essentially teaching people in Tokyo how to network in America. So I was kind of representing America, and I could have talked myself out of it and been like, oh, I've only given this talk once. Ooh, like, thanks for the offer. Can we postpone it? But another lesson I learned the hard way that I'm not going to go into, but I can think of at least one opportunity where I didn't say yes because I thought, ooh, I need more time. And sometimes you regret it for years. Don't let that happen to you, you know? But you have to be discerning, wait, am I saying no because of love or fear? Do not make fear-based decisions. If you are feeling afraid, but maybe, you know, you're thinking of all the worst case scenarios, or maybe you're in your head like, oh, but I would have to fly to New York. And I was just there last month. But it's like, okay, if it's an amazing opportunity, you take it. You do the illogical thing at where there's a little bit of magic in it versus throwing money at something because it's logically right, or like, you know, saying no to something because it would be like hard to do. You know, sometimes you need to think of your future self and will you be thankful to have said yes? And then maybe with whatever time you had, then nose to the grindstone, you get ready for it if you're not yet ready. Thank you, Sia. This has been fun. I appreciate this. Thanks for having me on. You can go to Stephanie Thoma, THOMA.com. If you want to get my weekly email newsletter, that'll be stephaniethoma.com/newsletter. I'm on all social media channels, including LinkedIn. It would be at Stephanie M. Thoma. And yeah, go ahead and join, unmute yourself if speaking is on your radar.
That's it for this episode of Career Coaching Secrets. If you enjoyed this conversation, you can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to this episode to catch future episodes. This podcast was brought to you by Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to $100,000 years, $100,000 months, or even $100,000 weeks, all without burning out and making sure that you're making the impact and having the life that you want. To learn more about our community and how we can help you, visit joinpurplecircle.com.